Well, good afternoon, everybody, or I should say good evening. I am Rufus Bill, and welcome to another edition of Talking To, where we have three unique perspectives and with three unique individuals, Joanne Tosin Fuller and Justin Hearn. And we have a great show planned out for you. Currently, Eastern Standard Time says it's 7:04. The date is May 22nd, 2022, and the temperature is not as warm as predicted here in the city of Detroit in the state of Michigan. They were thinking it was supposed to be like 90 degrees today, or at least I think all weekend it was supposed to be warm like that. However, it's not. It's kind of chilly to me. In fact, I put on a sweater today, so to keep me warm. And with that, we are so happy and excited to have back with us Joanne Tosin Fuller. Good afternoon, Joanne.
Hey, hey, Rufus, how are
I,
you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yes,
That
but you
is
are so right. It's kind of chilly out there today, so
is Chilly
compared to
Willy.
Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
But
I
we in Michigan.
oh my God. Just at a blink of an eye, it can be different.
I'm telling you.
And that is so crazy to me. I was yesterday when I was out and about, and I was thinking. I said, I don't even remember hearing anybody talking about rain. And it rained the morning, took a break on the afternoon, and then it started back in the evening. The only thing that I kept hearing everybody say it was going to be 90 degrees, and they ready.
Now I
God
think
only.
it hit almost what was it, 88 or 80 something
Oh,
yesterday.
it did get warm like
It
that.
got really warm because it rained that morning. And I thought it's not gonna get up to no 80 degrees, but it did.
It
It was,
did.
yeah. That after yesterday afternoon, it was beautiful. I mean, the sun was out. It was really nice. But then by yesterday evening,
It was a horse of a different color.
it was yes. Look, but we in Michigan, we can have what 3 seasons in one day.
Yes, we can easily.
Easy, easy.
And people that are not from Michigan or that have never visited Michigan just can't understand
They don't
how can
understand.
that be
You have to experience it
for yourself.
for
That's the
yourself.
only way that you'll know what's going
Yes.
on.
Yeah. That is so true.
So you were with us last week. So you want to care
I
to share?
missed y'all.
We missed you too.
I missed you. I did.
Definitely. I was all discombobulated at first. I said,
It's funny
"Where's
how
my
you get
book?"
dependent on, everybody, and it's like it's like, wait a minute, no feedback, nobody's talking, nobody's interrupting. It's like, oh, I don't know if I like this, but I missed you. I did. I really did. Yeah, you and
Definitely.
Justin.
Um, so today, what have you been doing?
You know what? Actually, I was on the road. I just got back home about 6 o'clock,
Oh,
and
that's right.
yeah, I was on the road. So I've been in meetings all day, and
Okay.
but I'm good.
You good?
I'm home. I'm relaxed. Yep, I'm
And you're
good.
ready. Well, you
Yes,
don't look like you've been traveling, so that's a
I
good thing.
have.
She said,
And
tell
even
my
my
body.
traveling clothes,
You
I'm
got
like, if I go,
to...
I don't
wait,
know.
wait, you
I don't know. That would be a horse of another color. It might be another show too. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. I take it back.
That's hilarious. So I was looking on Facebook and I meant to have this, this particular post that I saw ready, but I was messing up on my end as usual.
Uh-huh.
And it was talking about, I'm gonna have to paraphrase of what the person said. It was Ralph Godby, Pastor Ralph Godby, who is the former Detroit police chief. And let me see if I can be quick and try to bring that post to my fingertips. But as fate would have it,
Uh-huh.
it's not doing it. But anyway, he said something interesting. He said we need to stop trying to give advice to people when we are in terrible conditions ourselves. Paraphrasing. That's the Rufus paraphrase.
That's the Rufus paraphrase.
But that was the gist of it. And I reread the post, and I said he's right. I said, because look, now more than ever, Joanne, everybody has an opinion to tell somebody how to enhance their lives. Yeah. And for the most part, when people are giving advice, we don't know what they may be experiencing. Right. But they could have a laundry list of what you can do, what you should not have done. And that stuff is jacked up.
But you know what? It's easier to deal with other folks' issues than it is to deal with your own. It really is. Because when you have to look in the mirror and you have to do self-examination, we don't see ourselves like other people see us. And a lot of times we don't see ourselves truthfully.
Wow.
We don't. We see ourselves as what we wish we were or what we want to be or want to become. So we really, a lot of times we don't look at ourselves honestly.
You are so correct.
And so it's true. It's easier to focus on your stuff and tell you how to do it. But when I have to do the work, it's harder. And I mean, it's hard. Because like even with me, I can, because of some of the things that I do, like event planning or even like with some decorating and all, I can go to somebody else's house. Oh yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do, and I mean, I can not come to my house. I can't make a decision. I have to go hire somebody to come do my own. But I can look at somebody. So what he's saying is really true. And it doesn't mean... And I don't think sometimes it's from, I think for some people, sometimes it's from experience. Some people have gone through some things and so they're trying to help others.
Yes.
But you have to remember that you got to check yourself too constantly.
Yes, you do.
I have to check myself and I try to consciously make an effort to check myself and not be so critical of others too, because when you really checking yourself, it seems like you have more empathy for others when they
You're right.
For real,
you're right,
because you're like I remember I just or you know what I'm saying. So
not long ago, but you know what is very interesting, Joanne, is that I don't give advice to my friends. And well, maybe I don't give advice to my friends because they don't ever ask. Now that I think about it. But if I was asked, I wouldn't give any advice because you know what I've noticed, and I've seen other people, and I've watched professionals on television, that is, and when they you give advice or your suggestions, usually they do what they want to do
anyway.
Usually, you know, and maybe sometimes people like to just have a sounding board so they can hear what they're experiencing by way of talking to another person.
Yeah.
I have a friend and he has been without a pastor for 6 to 7 years. He was a member of a church here in Detroit, and Pastor Wilma Johnson and New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, Livernois and Pembroke. And since she has made her transition, and the first year he was talking about, you know, how different it was, and he didn't know what he was going to do, if he was going to stay. And I understood how he felt in terms of his leader making a transition and the church has no pastor.
Yeah.
Then the second year, then the third year, he's not one of my Facebook friends, good. The fourth year, the fifth year, and he never asked me anything, but he was still talking about the same thing. And my advice wanted to be or get off the pot.
Oh my goodness.
But
you didn't say that, did you?
I didn't say that. No, that's see, this is probably why I don't give advice. I don't know how to be a Dr. Kim and do it professionally and smoothly.
Oh my goodness.
But however, he had been advised by some other people, but he was still in and is still in that same place of like wondering what to do. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, now you have shared this, your inner thoughts, but you haven't, and people have given advice, but you haven't taken any advice.
Okay.
So it's interesting, that whole concept. But I agree with you agreeing with Reverend Ralph Godby. Well, we should be in a certain place mentally before we speak.
Right.
Just say for instance, and I'm not no disrespect to Steve Harvey, but Steve gives out a lot of advice to people in relationship, and I know that's based on experience,
some of it,
personal experience, and maybe some things that he has learned or gleaned from professionals. But when I hear him interacting and I hear the people that he's talking to, sometimes they just sound like they're not going to do it. But I'm glad I'm talking to Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
You know,
for real, it's true. It's true.
So
I'm gonna do what I want to do, but
right.
Even though I'm asking you, but I'm still gonna do.
But I'm still gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Definitely. Before we go on to our special guest, Justin has become the talking to socialite.
We need to follow him around.
We need to follow him.
Thank you.
Justin is hobnobbing with the brightest and the best.
He's trying to get that political career.
He got it going.
Yes.
So Justin is not here today. He was scheduled to be here, and it's no fault of his own, but he's off the water, and so it's hard to get a signal where he is to come in and participate in today's show. So we know that he's going to
look. So that means he's on a boat somewhere,
or a yacht now.
Because look.
Right. He didn't say near the water. He said, I'm on the water. I love it.
I don't know.
Justin said later, talking to, if I get in, we in. If I don't, see you next week on the holiday weekend. Those pastors. So Justin will, if Justin dies within the next 40 minutes, I'm sure he'll try to reach out to us. But if not, Justin will join us next weekend on our holiday special. And we would like to thank everybody who have graciously tuned in at 7:00 today. Normally we're on at 4, but we're on at a new time at 7 p.m. on Sundays, Facebook Live and YouTube. And so we want to thank you very much for making that switch with us. Also, you can make your comments into the chat. We'll be more than happy to respond and to post to that. And we're just going to have a great show. Our special guest, Joanne, I'm going to let you take it away from here.
Yes. Our special guest today is a wonderful man of God, a positive man. And I'm just going to give you a brief little background about this man because he's an amazing man. His name is Franz Mentor. Franz W. Mentor. He has, 2 beautiful girls that he just adores. Sydney, Simone, and Ava. Franz served 10 years in the Army as a Black Hawk pilot, commander, battle captain, air mission commander during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and chief aviation liaison on the ground for the 10th Mountain Division during his transitioning United Kingdom 903rd Expeditionary Air Wing, and the Basra International Airport Director. Wow. This is how I know him. As Franz served 3 combat tours in Iraq in 5 years with distinction and received numerous commendations and medals. He achieved his promotion letter to the rank of major the year of his separation in 2011. Franz is a certified personal trainer with the National Academy of Sports Medicine. He also is the founder of the Franz Mentor Foundation with the purpose to inspire people to dream big, crush obesity, and raise the awareness of the immune system. In 2019, Franz earned a master's degree in employment and labor relation from Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan. Franz is the author of Winners Win and creator of the Boom 10 Times Fasting Challenge. He is an avid running and shares his love for running as head coach for a middle school cross-country team in Southfield, Michigan. Franz is extremely passionate and driven person with a burning desire to inspire everyone he meets. And that's how I know Franz as the personal trainer, the exercise person. Dr. Kim did a women's retreat, and he was there early every morning exercising these women. You know, he has even helped me with my fasting and trying to get back on track, especially with COVID. So I just want to introduce to y'all Franz Mentor, Mr. Boom.
Mr. Boom.
Yeah. How's it going?
Great. Hey. Welcome to the show.
How are you? How are you?
Man, it's a great day to be alive.
I'm telling you. What a resume, though. What a resume.
Well, I mean, all I can say is God, because without God, I mean, I promise you I would not be here today. I could say with 100% certainty that it's because of God is why I'm sitting here today.
Amen. Amen. I mean, this the military career that you have. First of all, what made you want to be a pilot? Was that something that you always dreamed of as a child, or?
Thank you guys for having me on. It's an honor to be here with you all. Before I get started, just thanking God for the opportunity to be on this podcast. And certainly since I was 5 years old, I always wanted to fly. I was born in Guyana, South America, in Essequibo. And I pointed up to the sky and I said to my dad, I want to do that. I don't even know what it was called, but whoever's flying that's what I want to do. And my dad told me that I can do it. Come to find out, that was a pilot. And just to give you guys a short version, 5 years old, I said I wanted to be a pilot. And 19 years later, God blessed me to earn my flight wings as a Black Hawk pilot at Fort Rucker, Alabama. So it's always been a dream, and through pitfalls and challenges, through everything, it all worked out. So definitely, that was the beginning.
Amen. Amen. And so you it says you served 10 years in the Army.
They
had and all those 10 years you were a pilot?
The whole 10 years. The whole 10 years. So as soon as I got done with flight school, I started flight school like 8 days after September 11th. And so so when I got on base, it took me a while to get on the post, and we were the first class to start after September 11th. It's normally like 40 pilots per class, and everybody was coming in there. Generals, full bird colonels, lieutenant colonels. They was telling us, we don't know what's happening, but you guys are going to be at the tip of the spear. Make sure you guys know this material, because you guys will be the first wave going in. And sure enough, upon graduating flight school, like about 2 months later, I was a lieutenant lieutenant platoon leader in charge of 29 people and 7 Black Hawks worth over $70 million. And I was in charge, barely knowing how to start the thing. I'm telling you, the way how it's supposed to work, Joan, is you get done with flight school and you go to your unit and you practice because you're just out of the schoolhouse.
Right.
But there was no simulation. There was no friendly airfields. There was no major airports. It was straight combat.
Wow.
Straight out of flight school. So when I say out loud, it's a great day to be alive.
Amen.
Definitely.
Well, you know how to start to play. Oh my goodness. But you know what? That's where I remember. I didn't know you personally, but I remember because they were in churches. People were praying for you. I remember seeing your picture, and people would pray for him. I'm sure it probably was your mom, you know, asking for prayer, all of that. I remember that's when I first heard the name.
Okay.
Franz Mentor. That was that long ago. That's when I first saw or heard your name or who you were. But to say prayers because you were going over, like you said, it was right after 9/11, and you were going over, I guess, to Iraq or going into the war. But that's where I first heard the name Franz Mentor. Yes.
That's good.
Well, if I recall, and I don't know if Franz remember, but Franz, you're the Franz Mentor that was friends with Antoine, right? McReynolds?
Yeah, it's a good friend of mine. Absolutely.
I know. I remember you coming over to the house on Piccadilly.
Yeah,
I remember you go to the pool, right? And going to you went to Davison. What was it called, Davison? It was called Peterson Warren.
Peterson. Briefly, while Davison was transitioned, so I may have had like a little stint there.
Yes.
But the majority of the time was at Peterson Warren Academy. Antoine is a really good friend of mine.
Y'all might be like we're in the same grade.
Yep, class of '94. Yep.
Yeah, class of '94. Wow. Yeah. And when I found out that you were the guest, I'm not a small world. You were the guest today. I'm like, I think that's Franz Mentor, Antoine's friend.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
That is unbelievable.
Well, then I connected with Franz. Like I said, it was the next time, I guess, or probably our first time actually connecting was at Dr. Kim's women's retreat that we had out in Dearborn. Yeah. We had those women up early in the morning exercising. Come on. And that's when I first heard of Boom. And you had, it seemed like you had just started that. Was that true? You were just getting into the Boom era or the Boom era.
The Boom era. Definitely on paperwork, it would say 2015.
Okay,
is when we started the boom movement, and
I say era movement.
So definitely like around God gave me the vision of the foundation back in 2009, 2010. But the boom actually came after all of the health workshops and various things. So
okay. And how did you come up with that? How did you come up with Mr. Boom? Where did that come from?
So it's interesting. What I tell people is like the boom is everything you think it is and a little bit more. So it's just something that's within you that everybody has within them. It's that spark. It's that what God gives us that light force. Mm-hmm. And so what I do is I recognize God within me and I'm thankful. So what I do is that boom represents thankfulness and gratitude. So I would say that you would have 10 seconds to say 4 things that you are grateful for. You know, not too much thinking. Just say what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for my food, my shelter, my gas, and my mom. I waste no time. I didn't put no qualifiers on that. I'm thankful for my mom. That's only because, you know, she birthed me. No, you're thankful for your mom, right? Just keep it clean. You know, I'm thankful for my car, but I wish I had me a Mercedes. No, it don't work like that. Just thankful for what it is. And that boom, that gratitude is what fires me and keeps me pushing. So it's an internal thing. So that's why I just came up with Mr. Boom. So when everybody sees me, it's a reminder of who I represent and the power that's within me. That's what I'm projecting out. And I want everyone else to recognize that as well.
Awesome.
When did you realize that God had given you a special anointing to do what you're doing?
I really, it's a great question because honestly, I think what I do is just, I don't want to say it's ordinary. I know it's different, but every day I wake up fired up. Certain days I'll wake up a little slower, but there's no pain, there's no aches, and I just go. I would definitely say I noticed it when I started doing back in 2009, 2010, when we were back in Dothan, Alabama. That's about 20 minutes south of where flight school is at Fort Rucker. I would just continue to do what I do, run and encourage and motivate. And we started the C4 program, which is courage, companionship, consistency, and commitment. And we caveat onto 4 key things. We talk about Peter with the courage, he stepped on water. You got the commitment. You got the commitment with Noah, and you got the consistency with Enoch walking with God, and and these various things that we use. And so we decided to start a program in which we're going to get people motivated and inspired, and the people there were latching on to what I was saying with the energy, backed up with the principles on the Bible, as far as like body's a temple. We have to do these little things here and there. And then people were telling me, it's like, I'm starting to lose weight. I'm drinking more water. I'm eating cucumbers. Because one of the methodologies that I do is, don't tell me what you should not eat. Just focus on the things that you did eat that was good. That's the only thing I want you to tell me about. Mm-hmm. And that methodology, it kind of just switched it up for a lot of people. They was only telling me what they were eating better, and people were starting to feel better. They were looking better, blood pressure coming down, and it was a movement. We will meet on Sundays and we will do walks. We will have like fruit and vegetables in the park. And I would definitely say back in 2008, 9, and 10 is when I noticed that, wait a minute, people, they really want something a little bit different. And so that's when I was like, well, let's keep this thing going, see if we can expand. And the Lord, He's continuing.
That's great.
That is so awesome. And I like it. I like what you say about focusing on the positive, what I can do, what I am eating, instead of what I can't eat. Mm-hmm. I really like that, because it really is a mind game. It's a mental thing, but it really does help.
It does.
I can eat this, I can eat that. But when you're focusing on the negative, I can't have that. So that mind game is like, you feel like you're losing out or you're missing out, or but I can eat this, I can eat that, I can, and I love it how even on Facebook, how sometimes you just show stuff. And sometimes I think there was this one platter that you put on Facebook, and I was like, I want all of that. But it was stuff you could eat. And I think it was a fruit platter. Do you remember that platter? It was. And I'm like, I want it all, because it looks so good. And so that's what I'm working on, and just the little bit that we have connected, because he's helped me with my intermittent fasting. Okay. And so now I do the intermittent fasting Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And what's funny is that I say Saturday and Sunday I can kind of eat what I want to eat, but then I don't want to eat it, because I want to say, I want that cheesecake, and then but then I don't, because then I feel like I'm starting all over on Monday. But sometimes I do get a taste, but then I don't. It's funny, because you don't want it. You don't want to mess up, or you don't feel like. Yes. And then because I feel good all week.
Yeah.
And I don't want. I don't want
a large part of that is you are empowering yourself See, no one is telling you what to do, what to do. What we do is we give suggestions. So another example of what we will do is I will tell you, instead of saying that you have to make changes in your diet, no, we use the word adjustments. We use the word
Okay.
adjustment because as soon as I say the word change to somebody who's doing well for themselves or in between or whatever, instantly a mechanism comes up. It's like, man, who are you? I'm not changing for nobody.
Mhm.
So we're going to make adjustments along the way. So another thing, methodology that we use is we use progress over perfection. We're giving yourself room to embrace a lifestyle that needs to be tweaked because of where you are physically, mentally, or spiritually. But it's primarily just physical. But the benefits from physical, it transcends into the other areas. So for me, it doesn't matter if you start working out and then you make adjustments in your lifestyle, or you start making adjustments in your lifestyle, then you start working out. Just like you said, Miss Joanne, it's like you have a tendency not to go all into eating what I want to eat, even though you gave yourself that little window. And that's the power of how the ball starts rolling. And even if you were, you just wouldn't sit there and eat like two pizzas. You might just, I just want me a slice. And then it's like, that's it.
I'm
And
done.
that's
I'm
our
straight.
side. And that is making adjustments, progress over perfection, because the focus is not on anybody else. You are just, it's like you versus you. And that's how you make those improvements along the way. It's a beautiful process.
It
You
really
know,
is.
you said something about the word change, and for most people, that is one of the hardest challenges to accomplish in one's life is to make a change, if good or bad. But the way you said adjustment, adjusting your life to making sure that it can be enhanced
Mhm.
with your adjustment, and it doesn't affect, that word adjustment does not affect you psychologically
Mhm.
as the word changed, because you like you say, who are you to tell me what to do? And then people hear change, I have to do something that I'm not comfortable with, because a lot of people are creatures of habits, and we do things because it's comfortable. We have made it comfortable for us, and we don't like to go out of our comfort zone. So that adjustment word really sticks out in my head, and I'm going to adapt that to my vocabulary, especially as it relates to doing things an adjusting way.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
So the book that you have, Winners Win, is that part of the Mr. Boom, or is that, what is that, the book that you have written? What is that about?
Well, that book is about it says winners win for the title, but
Uh-huh.
it's loaded with a bunch of failures, a bunch of losses, a bunch of pitfalls and scrapes and bruises along the way. Um, my end result and how I feel within is a winner because God dwells within me. He gives me this life force. So there is no
Yes.
way anybody could ever convince me other than I'm a winner because I'm connected to somebody who's already won.
Right.
You know, Jesus
Amen.
rose. So
Amen.
it's a done deal. So we're
Right.
just going through the motions, if you will. So I consider myself a winner because he is risen and he's a winner.
Right.
But even though I consider myself that, I still get bumps and pitfalls along the way. And that book, it etches out all of those bumps and pitfalls along the way, along the process to winning something that I desired very highly is to get those flight wings. Issues in flight school, there's racism, there's different things that people are just coming at you. It's just it's I look back on it now, all it was doing was preparing me, multiple times, it's two flight students per one pilot. And sometimes, the other student may get a softball question. The instructor pilot will sit you over the table and he'll ask you oral questions, and you just have to know it off the top of your head. No one's not picking on you. It's just that when you're flying this helicopter, this Black Hawk, you're not going to have time to pull out the manual, pull over to the side, and
let me think.
You got to be really sharp.
What chapter was that?
But it was times that he would ask the other pilot a softball question, like a layup, if you will, like an underhand pitch. And he asked me something that's about 90 miles an hour fastball, or with a slider or something. And then a part of me was like, man, he's always asking him the easy questions, man. I never get a softball question. But sure as nothing, I'm telling you right now, because they didn't give me an inch, God knew that when I got done with flight school, hear me out, y'all, that I would go to combat, and I had to know this stuff up and down, backwards and forward. It wasn't no flight simulator. It wasn't no friendly area. Every training getting me up to speed was in combat. So guess who was grilled like you could not believe in flight school, thinking people are picking on him? Then I had to change that. I'm like, well, if it's in the book, so he can ask you whatever you want to ask you. So you better stay up late and study. So that's what I did. Little did I know that was going to prepare me for combat. So the book really outlines a lot of those things and where in which like God saw the end, and I was just processing through. And that's what I tell people with the weight loss and different things and fasting. Understand that it is a process to get to there, but your end result is health. It is feeling good. It is looking good in clothes. You can now walk up a flight of stairs. Heck, you might even skip a step.
How about that?
I mean, we don't know. We don't know, but it's a process, and God is constantly preparing us always for the next level, but we just sometimes can't see it. Mm-hmm. And that book outlines how God prepared me for the next level.
And I think it's very important that, especially if you are a believer, that you incorporate what we hear throughout our Christian journey from our ministers and pastors. It's faith. And you have to operate in all you do in faith. And I would assume, or I would venture to say, Franz, that if you did not have that faith at the most critical time that you needed it, in class, in combat, coming home, readjusting to civilian life, that it would have been a very challenging experience, and you would not be in the mindset, in the consciousness of where you are today. So for you to embrace all these principles that you learned even prior to going away to flight school and into combat, into the service, but even as a child and growing up and being exposed to positive things around you that were shaping your mind to be able to accept the journey that you were going on. So that that's really a blessing, that to be able to talk with you and to be able to see how you have activated so many positive concepts to be the person that you are today.
Yes. And I love the concept that I love that winners win, because, and that, like you said, it's full of negative, things, failures and all of that, because life is not easy. And even on this weight loss journey, it's not easy. The health journey, it's not easy. Yes, you're going to fall, you're going to make a mistake, but if you adjust slowly,
yes,
you make those adjustments and you stick with it.
That's
you're
right.
a winner. Because I always go back to that. Was it 407? Remember the cleaning? Was it 407, 409?
409. Yeah.
And they said people used to ask, well, why do they call it 409? And come to find out that I guess whoever put it together failed 408 times.
Really?
Wow.
I never knew that.
And the 409th time they got it, and that's why it was called 409.
Interesting.
Yes. And so it's that, and like you said, a lot of those things help you build your character. It helps you. God never said this life was going to be easy. He never said, if you follow me, then, you got it made. He did say, like you said, Franz, that we're always a winner because we already know that he died for us.
Yes.
So we're automatically a winner. Now we have to claim the trophy, which means we have to do work to claim it. So I just like how you put all that together, and and it makes it easier. At least I feel like it makes it easier to keep going and keep moving. And if I bumble today, it's okay, because you know what? Tomorrow's a new day, and I'm starting again tomorrow.
That's it.
And so I like simplicity. I really like that. Where can they find your book? Where can they get your book?
Well, you could get the book on Amazon. The book is on Amazon. So you just type in Winners Win into the search for the books. It may be a couple pages down, or you could put my name in the search and it will pop up.
Awesome.
Or if you want to get a signed copy, you could contact me directly. Email me, franzmentor@gmail.com, and I could arrange, shipping information so I could sign it if that's what you desire. But
I'm putting my for the signed copy. I want my signed
right. I want the signed copy. Not Amazon's.
Thought I'd throw that in there.
Yes, all right. We got a nice set here at the house. Definitely.
So if you're just tuning in today to talking to Joanne Tosin, Rufus Bill Justin is somewhere out on the water. But our very special guest today is Franz Mr. Boom Mentor. He is a pilot, a veteran,
and thank you for your service.
Right, definitely.
Yes.
A health guru, I would venture to say. He's written a book, and he's just giving us some life adjusting techniques for us to be winners. And give us the title of your book again, Franz.
It's Winners Win. I got a copy of it right here.
Show it to us so we can see it.
Look at there.
Look at that.
Yes, I love it.
Nice.
Winners
I love
Win,
that.
A soldier's journey, a soldier's story of inspiration and self-determination. This is it.
Yes. So, Franz, you are also a personal trainer.
Yes, certified. That's what I do.
Yes. And so I'm just letting everybody know out there, you can contact him. And you know what? First, tell us where people can contact you if they're looking for a personal trainer.
Well, there's a good way is to email me at franzmentor@gmail.com, FRANZMENTOR@gmail.com. Or you can do contact us at our website, boom10x.com. And there's a contact form you can fill out and you can reach me there. And you can direct message me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and those popular things that just type my name, Franz Mentor, and I will get back with you. And of course, I got a phone number. But once you contact me, we'll link up and we'll figure all that out. Right.
You'll send all that.
We're not throwing that out. But
we're not putting that out over the internet.
if you're serious, then you look up those other
right. You email Franz.
Email me is the best way, and then we'll it's like. And again, it's like you tell me what your goals are. You tell me what medications you are on. It's my job to design a program to make sure that you, again, make these adjustments along the way, in which we stair-step you into your desired goal. And that's what the process is.
Your goal. And I want to just point out something that you casually slipped in. but it's very serious. You used the word certified. So that means that Franz has gone through some type of training, some type of education to be able to clearly and definitely design a program for you. Stop going to cousin JoJo and Boom Boom and all those other people that say that they know that they're trainers, and they're not. Now, they may have had success in their own lives with whatever it is that they've done for their body, but when you're talking about really doing some changes some adjustments that will be that will enhance your life, you want to go to someone who is a professional. And I'm a diehard on using professional experts. And Franz Mentor is an expert. So consider that as you're thinking, maybe I should lose weight. And I'm going to call Fluky Joe. No, Franz just gave you the information on how to get in contact with him. And a lot of us, me included, are already thinking, oh my God, it's May. Coats have come off. And what can I do? Don't you try to figure it out. Because it's when we try to figure it out, we get bigger. You contact a certified professional Franz Mentor. Now, Franz, you are a serviceman, and I've had my experience with ROTC until they dismissed me from the class. But
do we want to know why?
I'll tell you on another show. But no, just being hard-headed, because you have to have discipline when you're in the armed services. But however, are you? What is the question that I want to ask? Are you very firm? Are you very disciplined? Are you? And I'm asking for those who may want to know. Are you a hard taskmaster? Kind of walk us through of how you train and get people on the right road.
It's a great question. So, I was Army, and we go hard in the Army, and I love to run. And the one thing what I tell people is, again, like I said earlier, is it's you versus you. I know where you are. You are not training to be frontline 11 Bravo on the infantry. That's just
your
not
audience
happening right now.
Thank you very much.
And also to those who are like 30, 50, or somewhere between there or above, you may have been a track star. Come on now, talk to me.
Oh, say it now.
You may have been a track star.
That means past.
But you got like about 30 pounds forward of your center of gravity that says that you're no longer. And what I'm here to tell you is that's okay where you are. We're going to start where you are. We're going to get an assessment. We're going to get everything right there. And from that point on, you'll tell me the story. I listen to your story. I want to hear it. But I'm only going to hear it one time. So you got your first session. Just lay it in on me. Because
with the violins.
Yeah. And then from here on, we're going after the results. We're going after the results. I'm very results driven, and I am empathetic. The majority, sometimes, the clients may say other things, but the one thing that you did touch on, I appreciate that you put an emphasis on the certification of the National Academy of Sports Medicine, and God is blessed. Let me just knock on wood, wherever it is, because of that expertise, knowledge throughout the years. No one has gotten hurt or injured training with me, because even though we may go hard, there's a process to build in the ligaments, the tendons, and the joints, understanding that you may have to do calisthenics first. You may have to do some legs first, understanding not to load the whole body. You may focus on legs, then focus on the top to give times to go down. You don't have somebody laying down and popping up, who's older. Design it where they're on the ground for the whole entire time, and that's they're on the ground like an elderly person, for example. A perfect example. If you're elderly and you're about 60 or 70 years old, if we're doing something on the ground, we're doing it first. We're not going to do something on the ground where you got your heart rate doing all this, and now you're going to lay back down, and now the blood is pooling right there. Now you may be okay, but with the knowledge that I have, why
you know better
with somebody older on the ground when they've shared their medications, and it's just now more than ever. I heard you use this word early when I was waiting to come on. Now more than ever, we really need to look at where we are. If you were not active, you just can't go full tilt into thinking that you could play this basketball or run this race. You have to allow your body time to adjust to what is now a more stressed system, and allow yourself to pull in gradually. So you got to set realistic goals. So we push hard, but we don't push hard from day one. We gradually step up, checking to make sure we are hitting those marks. And the nutrition is a huge side of it, and also having you go up safely. And another reason is, why will I train somebody hard to get injured and then my money stops?
Right.
That's right. You singing my song.
That's right.
You're right.
So nobody wins, and ultimately, my number one priority is to protect the client, and that's what we do here at the foundation. So we go hard, but we go hard based off of where you are, and we gradually increase from there.
Amen.
Now, I think you are the first certified trainer to even say that, because most of the people that I have talked with or listened to or heard their advice who were trainers always pushing, we got to get it, we got to do it, we're going to do that from day one. And I've often just common sense says, well, how can you jump from 0 to 10? You have to go from 0 at least to 2. And and not put your body in shock. Perfect example. Some friends who like to go and shoot hoop, and they think that they are NBA guys anyway, but they're not. But they are older than what they were in high school, of course. And I tell them, well, I've told them once or twice. I guess I have given out advice, Joanne. I said, y'all don't need to play full court. You
play
half court or do hopscotch, because after they play the game, they have to sit 35 minutes to get themselves together just to get back in the car. But that's a prime example of not allowing your body time to catch up with what you want to do. Yeah. And like you said, it has to go in stages. That's how we all mature, in stages. We all don't do it at the same time, but we move at certain stages to accomplish the goals that we need to be able to be to operate at an optimum level. So I love everything that you're saying. And you know what, mainly why? Not just because you're certified, but it makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense.
And it makes sense that it shows that you care about your client.
Yes.
You care more about the health and well-being of the person you're working with versus just about get here, give me my money, pay for this half hour. I'm gonna train you. I want you to be sore so you know that I was training you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and I know no pain, no gain. I do believe that, because as you start working those muscles and you are gonna have some you are gonna have some of that pain and all of that, but you're not trying to injure. And you have even though you have that military, let's do this, let's get it in, but you also have that Let's see where your body is. And I love how you said even your medications that you're on. I love how you're taking the whole picture of the person, and that's what you're working with.
Absolutely.
Their age, their health, the medications, everything.
Yeah, and sometimes it's important, like I said, it's like a tip if anybody is on and listening, is to divide the body sometimes. It's like today, it may seem simple, but you'd be surprised. Like if you're doing legs, do legs. And if you're doing upper body, do upper body. For you to do a big blast just coming off, I'm just gonna hit everything. The likelihood that it will probably take you about 2 or 3 days to recover. And and you really have to give yourself time to get in a rhythm. Say, for example, you see it all the time with New Year's. New Year's come around, I'm going back to the gym, okay? 5 days a week, 2 hours in the gym, an hour. I recommend to people, New Year's start, you in the gym 2 to 3 times a week. No more than 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, I know you want to stay longer, but allow that yearn to stay longer in the process of getting, and it's like you kind of like holding back. You holding back because every single year when they go full tilt 5 days a week,
like February, March,
it just starts just fizzling out. It happens all the time, and I see it. And again, I'm in the gym working out. I'm a trainer. I'm going to help you. It's like, if you don't act, I'm just not about to walk up and tell you, because that's disrespectful. You may have a good system. But then I see them just sprinkling out.
Right.
Sprinkling out. So you got to set realistic goals. And I tell people also with the running and the walking, you got to set realistic goals with that. A walking program that I have my clients do, it's like a 3-1 ratio. It's very simple. 3-1 ratio, do that 4 times, that's 16 minutes, another 20 minutes, you're done. So you walk 3 minutes at a quicker pace, and then you walk 1 at conversation pace. And you just go back and forth doing that for 4 times at 16 minutes. Do that 3 to 5 times a week, and you're done. Now, somebody says, oh, I want to walk for an hour. Well, I guess you could, but just keep it right here in this pocket. Let's improve this pocket for a while, and then let's gradually go into the more time. Because look, if you're walking for 3 minutes and then having a conversation pace and you want to go to more time, guess what I'm going to do? We're no longer walking at 3 minutes. We're going to do what? We're going to do a little bit of jogging in between there. And we're going to keep it within that pocket for like about a month and a half. Okay. And then we'll start pushing out and expanding with the time. You have to give your time to enjoy a pocket of success of something that you can do well. And just feel good about that. Like, I know I could do 16 minutes and just be like, man, I did that. When you jump or advance too soon, when you don't have the proper community around you, sometimes you go further backwards. And when you don't gauge it properly, I hope that you don't get injured. And now the injury is like, oh, I was doing so good and now I'm hurt. And it's like, And then it takes more work to pull you forward. Yeah. But those are, to your point, about having somebody who knows running and knows working out, that they will guide you around those pitfalls that are there. It's kind of like driving in Detroit. We know certain streets that got like the potholes.
Yes,
we know where they are. I'm not going to call out no streets.
Call them out.
Call them out. So
I'm going to go easy on the city. But we know, and we just automatically start making adjustments because we know where they are. Yes. And sometimes we're just not going to go up that street. I'm not going to say no street. but that's what we do. So, and this is the part of having somebody who's been there, who's done that, to help guide you. And then pretty soon, after like about 30 to 90 days, you should be able to go full tilt by yourself, unless you just want to get the motivation and somebody just to design something for you. in 30 to 90 days, you should have like a nice set of workouts that work. And you should be able to run and go and just achieve greatness and hopefully get a referral after if they want.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wanted to ask you before we sign off. I have seen a lot of obese children, and I know that the
my question. That's awesome. Yes.
The children, they have no control of their meals being prepared mostly, or some of them may be preparing it themselves. What can you suggest to the parents? Because, with that obesity in children, that can affect them not only health-wise, but their social skills, their interaction skills, how they think about themselves.
Yes.
Just give us at least one, maybe two things to start that adjustment process for a parent, for their child.
Well, that's a serious question. It's very critical, and really for our young women and our young boys. But our young women, the young girls will eventually go to women, and eventually the women are the ones who help populate this world with the men.
Yes.
But primarily it goes through the woman, and what happens is it will have negative effects going forward with the reproduction if we don't stem that tide on this front end. So it would really help. It would really, really help if the introduction, this might seem very simple. But I would definitely start with the increase of water intake.
Okay.
The increase of water intake, and also if the parent will include, do the best they can, either some green fruit or some green vegetable, and to have that going through the system. Because I know cost, and the mom or the dad may be busy at work. Sometimes they're taking the sports out of schools and various things of that nature. So we could just pull it back until we could kind of control what is going in the body the best we can. But the parent owns it. Like, they're going to have to be seen drinking more water, because kids mirror.
That's right. What they see.
Parent. So we have to do our best to, just like today, it's like I cut a cantaloupe and I was eating it. It was really good. And so I was eating it. And so I offered some to my daughters, and they took it and they ate it because they've seen me eat it pretty much all my life for the most part. And so to your point, for the parents who are not on that trajectory, sometimes we may have to reach out further with, like with a couple of the areas where they offer like free vegetables or things of that nature. It's like we have to embrace the community, and where which is like, this is an addition to what you are eating that will help improve your body. And you really got to have the word choices right.
Yes, you do.
In addition to what you are doing to improve a healthy profile. Oh man, you ain't healthy. You eating that, this and that, and this. Guess who's not about to move or to even consider moving towards that direction?
That's right.
So
That's
definitely
right.
It has to be something through the churches, continually through the communities where it's
offered.
And also we'll have to continue to encourage the parents and the guardians to take some water, even if it's something real easy. Somebody like, what type of vegetables do you like? Somebody may say, I don't like vegetables at all. We don't eat vegetables at our house. So normally cucumbers are probably an easy sale for somebody. Grapes sometimes, and collard greens sometimes. Even though they may be decorated with some other things in it. Again, we're talking about progress over perfection. Let's get the greens in the system. And see, grandma may not swipe it around too much, but guess what? we are still introducing that profile into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to allow that to marinate. And then
Yes.
through time, they'll decide how they want to tweak, taking out, maybe not putting so much in. But we have to look at the profile as far as what they're eating. And then we have to be open enough to let them speak to us and see what they like and what they don't like, and offer suggestions.
Yes.
And they may wrap their hands around like an apple. Okay, boom, we're gonna get this apple. Man, these apples cost so much money. I was like, listen, we're gonna make sure we get this amount of apples for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Another part with our community is that fiber intake is not where it needs to be. And also the fiber is being taken out of the processed juices that we have that are in the stores. And we're thinking that we're drinking fiber, but if you look at the label,
That's
that
right.
fiber is not there.
Gone. Mm-hmm.
And fiber, of course, it helps keep things moving.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And that's what we're introducing with the water, with those vegetables and the fruits, which to try to help keep things moving, because we're thinking big picture with our colon and all of those things. So definitely a way to embrace it with the parents, to try to get them on board, the guardians. And you see it a lot with the media. You have the superstars drinking pop and celebrating different things. If they could be seen, or people within the community who are trusted to be seen eating and doing various things and offering it, you never know. We may stem that tide with the young people going after it.
When I was attending Davidson Junior Academy, we did an experiment, and I think the teacher's name, I think she was a substitute teacher, Miss Feline.
Miss Feline. Yes, Miss Feline. Yeah.
And she took a soda and she poured it over. I don't remember what it was she poured it over, but it was to show us how that caffeine and sugar affects our body. And we were, children, and that still sticks to this day, of how that pop just disintegrated. I don't know, was it a piece of fruit or whatever that was? And it was like, wow. And, and she was trying to institute the children with water and the importance of drinking water as opposed to drinking soda or pop. So, like you said, that water, number one, the leafy green, number two, the fruit. So, that's a great help. And somebody who will view this and hopefully that'll, jar them to say, let me save my child from unnecessary health problems and any other kind of problems by getting them on the right track. Franz, how do they get in contact with you again?
Well, you can get in contact with me directly with the email. Is probably the best way. franzmentor@gmail.com. And you can get in contact with us at our website, boom10x.com. And also we have our latest program. It's called Boom 10X Fasting Challenge. So that's the website. Boom. It's challenge.boom10x.com. And we are challenging fasting for a period of days. I'm not going to say how many days.
Right.
But it is to improve our bodies, our minds, and to reset our immune system and optimize and fortify it. And so that is our most recent course that we have. And that link is challenge.boom10x.com. And we'll be happy to get you guys on board to take a look at what we're doing, because we are building this thing out. God has given us a beautiful design, and it's up for us to maintain it and we're going to get fit from the inside out.
Amen. Amen.
You got those hats for sale?
These hats, you know what? No, I mean, we got a bunch of stuff for sale. But we have not got these hats. My daughters, they be putting the hats on. I'm like, y'all want a hat? You know, they're
you gotta get them hats out.
Yeah. You know, they got their own shoe line now. They got their own shoes. They haven't said they want to design a hat yet, but
all right, now we're gonna have to, Rufus. We're gonna have to.
I know we need the girls on.
We need the girls on next time.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Joanne, I give it back to you.
Franz, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to just come and talk to us, to share some good news and how we can adjust our eating, adjust our appetites, adjust our not exercise or exercise, just how we can adjust our lives. And I love that word, adjust.
I love it too.
Change. I like that. I'm going to start really using that. But Mr. Boom, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for encouraging. Look, you're steady encouraging me. And I'm sure those who watch this, you will encourage someone.
Definitely.
Someone else. Definitely. And for those out there, again, get his book, Winners Win. Winners Win. You said it's on Amazon.
Amazon, yes.
Amazon, and or they can email you or whatever and get, like, I want my signed copy.
The signed copy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just let me know how much, when, where I can get it. But I just want to say thank you and tell your beautiful girls I said hello.
I will.
And you said that we're gonna have to get them on for real.
Definitely.
We want to get that shoe design out there. Yes, we do. Yes.
And we would like to thank everyone who's viewing us live, and those who will view us later on as the program circulates through the stream. Also, say hello to our chief engineer, Al Rogers.
Hey, Al.
What's up, Al?
Who has been chiming in, who is responsible for what you see, and he has entrusted me to try to work these controls. And I'm doing the best I can, Al.
You're doing it.
But he's the chief engineer. So thank you once again, Franz. It was so an honor to have you on Talking To. And I'll be sure the next time I see Antoine, I'm like, guess who I had on the show?
Antoine, man. Yeah, that's my boy, man.
All right. Joanne, you have a great evening. What were you going to say, Franz?
No, I was like, man, thank you for the opportunity. It's a beautiful time. Beautiful people. And I'll see you pretty soon.
Yes.
All right, then. Everyone have a great evening. And thanks once again to all our listeners and to all our viewers. Have a great day.
Peace out, y'all.